as the Prince of Peace. He came into our world as the Prince of Peace. He came to surprise us with the peace that was only possible through him. Now, certainly, he came as the Prince of Peace in order that we might have peace with God. God sent Jesus to grow up, to die on a cross, so that our sins could be forgiven and we could live in peaceful relationship with God the Father. That word relationship is so important because you see, Jesus wants us to experience a peaceful relationship with God. But a lot of times we're in such a rush, we can't even find time to be with God, let alone to feel peace with him. So what do we need to do in order to experience Jesus as the Prince of Peace? You see, it's not enough to know that he came as Prince of Peace. We need to experience his peace. I would like to suggest to you this morning that we need to ruthlessly eliminate hurry in order to experience Jesus as the Prince of Peace. As I was thinking about this and praying about this message, God brought me to the book of Mark. If you have a Bible, would you turn there this morning? And if you don't have a Bible, would you raise your hand? Because we have ushers that are coming down with Bibles, and they'd love to give you one this morning. In this story about Jesus, the Prince of Peace, we find that Jesus had a very full schedule. The day before, we're turning to Mark 1, and we're going to look at verses 35 to 38. But before we get to verse 35, let me give you a little background. Jesus had a really full schedule. He had been preaching and teaching. He had healed Peter's mother-in-law. And then the crowds started coming. They were lining up at the door. Everybody had heard about Jesus the miracle worker. And the Bible tells us that Jesus healed so many people. And then it says after sunset that evening, more people brought sick to Jesus and demon-possessed people to Jesus. And again, Jesus began meeting their needs. And then the Bible tells us this. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, went to a solitary place where he prayed. I love that verse. It speaks to me. I like to put my name in there. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Becky got up and left the chaos of her house and went off to a solitary place where she prayed. What about you? Maybe for you the verse would read, very late at night, while it was still dark. You put your work away. You put away the unfinished deadlines. And you went off to a solitary place where you prayed. Maybe if you're raising young children, it would read, during nap time, while it was quiet. I'm going to use my daughter's name here. She gave me permission. Stephanie didn't turn on Facebook or her cell phone, but she went off to a solitary place where she prayed. You see, we can't do life without experiencing Jesus as the Prince of Peace. It's not enough to know that he just came as the Prince of Peace. We've got to experience him as that. And in order to do that, we need to ruthlessly eliminate hurry. As Steve and I began to ruthlessly eliminate hurry, and that was a very long process for us, because again, we were very much like frantic and frazzled. But through some divinely orchestrated circumstances, including cancer, we learned that being in a continual rush sabotages your relationship with